Hello and welcome. So, on 4th of January this year, I played my first ever individual over the board tournament and any over the board tournament since 2020, the early parts of 2020. In the early parts of 2020, I represented my college team in the inter-college tournament, which that was an event, team event, and this is the first ever individual tournament that I participated in. And the tournament went fairly well. It was a knockout one. I lost in the semi-finals, not a bad one for the first tournament. Could have been better. I was completely in charge of the semi-final game as well. It was one rook blunder that cost me, but I don't want to put out excuses for that. It was a silly mistake from me, but things happen, mostly because of the lack of experience of over the board. Hopefully, in the next tournaments, I will do better. Here, I would want to show you my first game of the tournament, and I was playing black in the tournament. For some reason, it was chosen that the player whose name comes alphabetically um, will first will play white, and quite naturally in most of the games I was the one who had to play black. So this is how the game went. So in the tournament I was playing black, and my opponent started with e4. I replied with e5. He then came out with bishop to c4. I replied with knight c5. He then came out with queen h5, attacking my pawn with both queen and bishop. I pushed my pawn to g6, preventing the attack as well as attacking the queen. The queen goes back. I come out knight to f6, again preventing the attack here. He comes out with knight to c3. I jump in with the knight, attacking the queen and the pawn and looking for a fork. That's the only move which defends it. So he retracts back his queen. I make way for castling of the bishop. He pushes his pawn and I proceed as per my plan. He comes out with the bishop. I push my pawn and open up the bishop to go there. He comes up with the knight and I go there, pinning the knight to the queen. He takes my knight. I take back with a queen and not with a bishop. That would open up my queen's area and putting more pressure on this square. And that probably was the final nail in the coffin. He castles here. I take knight with the knight. He takes back with a pawn. I take with a bishop. Here only move that could have saved a little bit maybe was knight to c2, knight to e2 rather, but that would have, he got to knight to e2, I would give given a check, he comes in and I would have taken the queen, but instead he tried to save his queen, blundering mate in y. So this was the first game that I won in the tournament, and I was playing with the black pieces here. So in the semi-final, I had a decent game. I was in control of the game altogether, except for that one blunder, after which I lost all the control. And credit to my opponent, who just pounced upon my mistake, and there are a lot of things to learn from it. Hopefully, in the next tournament that I will play over the board, I will do better. Thank you for watching.